What is truth? Truth is the reality of all things that are meant to be. Truth is the only way, and one way. It can never be another way around. This could be explained in a very detailed way, but for this video, I will be breaking it down in more simpler form. Why am I making this video? Just to share my evidence of what truth is and why Christ is truth. Not a full detail scale of it, but just a simple form of it and why I believe it is. Not gonna get to all the specific points, all detailed points, because that video would be so long. It's just a general idea. So, you see, at some point of our lives, there is going to be a time to question, or what is oneself's purpose? And the other questions like the beginning of the creation, the beginning of time, who am I? These are totally normal questions as we grow up, starting from, being kids, and could start really early as a child and become more in depth while we grow in our understanding becomes more clear about how we think. This shouldn't alarm anyone, and I don't want you to think that we are all just gonna die someday, give you that existential or give you that mindset of just like, oh well, whatever, death is coming, and just upsetting mindset. I don't want to do that to you. That's not here what I'm talking about. That will make you panic. I'm just saying this just to put your thinking caps on. And if you don't want to think about this kind of stuff, eventually you will have to, but then get out. Just kidding. In all seriousness, those who don't use the mind to learn, understand, listen, or think of thoughts are not using the brain correctly. Anyways, there is a bunch of information that all of us have regarding these type of questions. Where did light come from? What happens to life after death? Who am I? Stuff like that. You already heard growing up a bunch of times, or friends or somebody. You heard it. Bunch of responses for those answers usually come from tradition, beliefs, religion, culture. Anyone could come up with any answer, but those mostly are specific to those reasons. And to make it feel more satisfying for them, now you got all these people together and sharing each other's cultures and traditions and religions, and all of these questions being very respectful. They're just a group hanging out respectfully and intrigued. And we began to conversate on how everyone here is awesome and they can share their own traditions to make everyone feel happy and included. And everyone's like, you can do that? Wow, this is going to happen to me. Well, I believe this is going to happen to me. And wow, good luck with you. And wow. Then those people are going to have someone give them the reality check. That someone who is going to shake their whole world apart, truth will come in and state what is truth, because there is only one truth. Someone might say we came from seeds, and another says aliens made us, and someone might say nothing happens after death. And truth is going to be looking at them and yell to them the word that they never want to accept, which is wrong. And after this, they get defensive over something they don't understand themselves, thinking that they know everything without knowing nothing, and how they all look like fools. Like, how can you possibly know 100% certain without any type of proof that this is going to happen to you? How? Now listen, proof is something different than evidence. And all I'm saying, there is a lot of evidence supporting Christ, not the other way around. More plausible for Christ being the truth speaker than other evidence against it. Here's the thing. There are no multiple truths. There's only one. You can't have multiple truths. You can't even have your own truth, because truth itself will break you. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter if you try to live in a fantasy world where you think what is truth, because your truth is a bunch of baloney. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't hold its stance. And then when you learn, you're just gonna be destroyed by your own head, because truth itself will break you. Because everyone can make a truth claim, no matter how absurd it is. But that's why we got our minds, and truth isn't going to care about your incredible faith on something that is not true. A simple example of this is if the truth claim 2 + 2 = 4, that is a truth claim. Now here is another truth claim. 2 + 2 = 5. Wait a minute. What? We use these both examples, and now we know for sure 2 + 2 is 4, right? Just simple. Plus 2 + 2 is 5. Okay, someone can make that truth claim. Someone can say that it is. Now, this is just super easy. Everyone should get this 100% right. Like, if you don't, then obviously you need to stay. We all know that 2 + 2 is not 5, but 4. So no matter what the person says about 2 + 2 = 5, they can believe that their whole life, but truth is going to come out and come yell at them wrong. At this point, if the person is not convinced and they don't want to learn or change or understand, other reasons are such as ego, pride, disbelief, denial, but the truth doesn't care. It doesn't care about what you're feeling. It doesn't care about none of that. It literally will show you the way, and if you don't like it, then boo-hoo. You literally literally are living in a world where you just want everything to be your way. But no, you gotta get out. You have to humble yourself and you have to say, wow, I was wrong this whole time. It takes some time and growing to do that, okay? So eventually it's going to happen. You're gonna have to accept anything that truth throws in your way. It is the truth, no matter what it is. You like it or you don't like it. It's the truth. What can I tell you, man? Now let's get into why that matters to the questions of existence, the life after death, and there's a bunch of answers for this, and especially when you get to other religions. You know, everyone's different, okay? No one's the same. No one can say all religions are the same. That is the most dumbest thing I ever heard. How can everyone who says something different can be the same? And no one can have their own path because there's only one truth. I mean, have you guys ever heard of multiple truths that correspond to one thing? We can have different answers, but not the same truths. And it's absurd how people will think, well, because I believe in my faith, I believe in my religion, I believe this is true. Cool, that's good for you, but when truth, reality, the truth whole being comes right in front of you, they're just gonna straight up and say, wrong, you're wrong. And what are you gonna do? You can't have bad? No, you just can't do nothing. You literally, it doesn't exist. It's truth. Once it's truth, it's truth. Now, all of the religions are not all true, okay? Because they all contradict each other. Now, all these faiths are not all truth. There is not any more truths, and they are because everyone claims some are different. And in religion and tradition, not all can be correct at the same time. It doesn't make sense, because then how can you believe in both when they contradict each other? That's what I'm saying. You can't be accepting of everything. You just can't. You just gotta follow a way. There's gotta be only one way, and that is true. So now, since there are a bunch of options, like many, we will have to take the serious options seriously or into consideration. Like really research for yourself. How can this be? And the future plans for the current plans and the old plans of what you want to research. We all know not to believe in psychopaths that say, do this for me because God said so. Yeah, those, you can put it all in a bag and throw it in the garbage, okay? Those are literally the most dumbest things, and hope people never fall for it. And people do fall for it, which is sad. I mean, there's a bunch of faiths out here that I think are really, really taking advantage of some peoples, and yeah, just taking advantage of people. You see, I believe in Christ to be true. I highly encourage for everyone to study Christ and everything surrounding him, especially the Gospels of Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, and all the evidence of Christ, or read the books, has more trustworthy than anyone else. Because in the Gospels, the evidence of Christ being more trustworthy than anyone else. And who cares about tradition, culture, anything? The truth matters more. All of these made up folklore or any type of these stories and tales to get your attention, truth is going to come and completely embarrass all of them. All those of false stories and beliefs. And I believe Christ is true. Do I say this because I am a Christian now? Well, obviously, it wasn't always like this. There was a time where I didn't know God and I didn't really care to know, because I told myself, how can I really believe in this person? I don't know who he was. I don't know his character. And I was skeptical about reading the Bible because I didn't know him. And after studying his word and reading it and understanding everything from in and out, I researched outside even the biblical text. And more I found out, the more I say, wow, this is truth. Everything that Jesus says is truth. And everything makes sense with Christ. It's like knowing everything about a good show after a plot twist and direction. Till this day, I'm still doing research and studying. And not only that, archaeological evidence has been incredible. Has been amazing to learning and researching and providing even more evidence about what has happened, as well, which you can learn so much more. Everything from small scale to big scale, or to a bigger scale. It is incredible. And Christ fits so well with everything, in the center of everything. Well, thank you guys for watching, and I'll catch y'all on the next one. Peace.